Bungie just released a new trailer showcasing Strand, the next darkness subclass being introduced in Lightfall. This trailer highlights the Guardians using their new Strand abilities and supers throughout the neon city of Neomuna. In this video, we're going to describe what each super does, show you some of the abilities and secrets you may have missed, including a meeting with Osiris. Let's roll the trailer first and then analyze it afterwards.
Strand flows through you, as it flows through everything. Now is the time to lean into using Strand, not back away from it. Embrace where the current takes you.
Let's first take a look at some of these shots with Osiris. We know we are going to learn about Strand on Neptune, or at least find it there, it's likely. Osiris has had visions about this and this city for a long time. We see this unfold in Seraph. At the beginning of this trailer, Osiris is teaching us how to wield and use Strand. Our guardian pulls at the weaves here, beginning to wield Strand, and Osiris stands across from us. One other thing to note, there's also a ghost in this scene hovering in the middle. I'm assuming this is our ghost just with a default looking shell. But at first I was like, well, what if this is somehow a replacement for Osiris, which would have some pretty crazy implications, but I'm assuming this is just our ghost. In Bungie's post, they detailed 2 new grenades. I believe we're seeing one here for the Warlock. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a Warlock arm. Whoever this belongs to, it looks like a skip grenade version of Strand. The user fires it, it hits the ground, and then bursts into 3 projectiles, which then explode nearby their targets. Our next 2 clips show us some sneak peeks at the supers, the Berserker for the Titan, and then the Threadrunner Silk Strike for the Hunters. We'll explain how these work in a bit, just admire this madness for now. Next we see what I believe to be the Shackle grenade. You can consume your Shackle grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. Then Arcane Needle, a deadly projectile which tracks targets, is used, causing high damage and unraveling them upon impact. Warlocks will be able to quickly chain 3 Arcane Needle attacks in a row. Speaking of Warlocks, let's talk about Broodweaver, Threadling Master. Floating in the air, Warlocks conjure a wave of piercing Strand missiles. After the missiles strike their enemies, they detonate and reweave themselves into Threadlings that will chase after nearby targets. So think of this as a blade barrage, but once those projectiles hit the ground, they still go on, tracking to their targets like mites fired from the colony exotic. Warlocks seem to be all about those Threadlings. Here, Weaver's Call is seen in action. On Riftcast, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface. Any perched threadlings are converted to additional eggs. Titan Berserker Blade Fury. This clip begins by showing us one of the abilities. Once they place their barricade, the wave of Strand unleashes up the steps. They use a light melee attack, and once they reach the top, they do a heavy attack for this subclass. Titans weave large blades onto their arms while they roam the battlefield using light and heavy attacks. Light attacks allow Titans to quickly slash enemies and build up energy for their heavy attack, in which they swing their blades to launch projectiles that suspend and incapacitate enemies on impact. The Titan's melee ability is Frenzied Blade. With the press of a melee button, the Titan dashes forward and slashes at enemies with their Strand arm blades, severing victims and decreasing their damage output. With a default set of 3 charges, Titans can chain 3 slashes together for maximum offensive power. The Titans will also have a pair of aspects. Into the Fray, destroying a tangle weaves woven mail onto the Titan and nearby allies. In addition to reducing damage taken, this aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration while wearing woven mail. And Drenger's Lash. When the Titan casts their class ability, the Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. Now the Hunter Threadrunner Silk Strike. Hunters weave a rope dart to strike down their enemies. The light attack throws the dart forward to strike a single enemy. Hitting an enemy with the tip of the dart deals bonus damage, and defeating enemies in this manner causes them to explode. The heavy attack swings the rope dart around a large area, damaging all nearby enemies. How about a Hunter Thunder Crash? Here we see Ensnaring Slam. While in the air, press the air move input to slam downward, suspending all nearby enemies. Combined after this slam is the Threadrunner's melee attack, Threaded Spike. This has the Hunter burling out a rope dart that bounces between enemies, damaging and severing them before returning to the Hunter. Upon returning, it grants melee energy for each enemy hit, which is super nice. Hunters can catch the rope dart by pressing a melee input button at the right time, and perfecting that timing will earn the player an additional amount of melee energy. So that's a pretty cool mechanic. It kind of reminds me of the Gears of War weapons, when you had to reload at a certain time, you get rewarded for it. Same type of thing here happening with the Hunter's melee. The Ensnaring Slam is part of a Strand aspect, and there's also another one called Widow's Silk. This aspect grants an additional grenade charge. The Hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it launches, which fully refunds grenade energy when grappled to. Here's a clip of Osiris on Neomuna as he overlooks Cabal drop pods landing in the city. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Analyzing the Strand trailer, reading some of the press releases from Bungie, and maybe some of the secrets you might have missed. If you'd like to see some other Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.